We would go there and we would take all the rocks and we'd like line up on sides like Red Rover. And we would just throw rocks at each other and the last to survive won.
What do you mean survive?
Like, if you got hit, you were like, stop, I'm bleeding, you were out.
We're your hosts, Tara, Nora, and Allie, and you're listening to Bad Advice Only.
We're just three New York City rats talking about scurrying around the Big Apple. Here, we make the New York City mistakes so you don't have to.
We're begging you. Leave us a review and follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Bad Advice Only NYC. We release new episodes every Monday, so stay tuned, rats.
Scary Movie.
The first half of Scary Movie?
Well,
Are we doing a before and after? What's the plan?
It's not, okay, listener, we're not doing part 1 and 2 for this, I don't think. But we are going to try something a little new, a little quirky. So I'm the biggest scaredy cat on planet Earth, scared of my own shadow. Nora hasn't seen a scary movie since Signs.
You remember that?
I remember that. We're going to record the first half. We're not doing part 1 or 2. We're just, Nora and I have no idea what this movie is about. So we're going to put in our predictions. And then the final bit of recording is going to be post watching the movie.
And the movie is Amityville Horror.
Amityville Horror. And Allie, have you seen it?
I've seen all of them and I've read the book. I'm
There's
very
a book?
excited for you to go through this.
Okay.
Yes. You guys, the book is so terrifying that when I read it, I was in my very first apartment in New York, which I know we've talked about this, but it was it was a hot lead pipe on my bed frame. And by bed frame, I mean my mattress on the floor. And I remember reading this book and I was so scared, and I'd seen the movies already, like I knew what was going to happen, but the book was so much worse that when I finished it, I was too afraid to have it in my physical room because I was like, I'm not going to spoil it, but I was like, this book's fucked up, and so I put it in my freezer and it lived there for a full calendar year.
So we're going to do predictions of what this storyline is about.
All right, Tara.
So,
But wait, question.
Yes.
We're gonna do a quick recap about Allie's dates or no?
okay, I need so many rat recaps because Allie just jumped so much on us. Listener, we're at her home today. We're recording at Allie's beautiful chateau in New Jersey.
Thank you.
We just had dinner, and during dinner, while we pounded pasta, Allie just dropped like 9 insane items.
Like,
in a way, my dating life has become a horror story. So it's actually quite fitting
on
for this episode.
with our month's theme.
I'll stick to one.
Okay, give us one of the dating stories. Pick your favorite.
Come in the Eye.
The Toy Maker.
The Toy Maker.
Civil War reenactor.
That's
one of the
same. Let's backtrack. A long, long time ago, last week, I matched with this guy on Bumble who is not my normal type. Is he ugly? No. Would I say, like, he's somebody I would normally swipe on? Also, no. And I was trying to be more proactive about, like, opening up my normal type.
Quick pause. At dinner, Allie described this man as, he's not built, he just looks like a man.
He literally is
He's
just
not
a
my
man.
normal type. He's not built and big. He's just a man.
He's just a man. He was hairier than I would have loved in the face and the arms. Yeah. In his profile, I already knew he was going to be weird. He was like teacher and sculptor. Like, that was the only thing that was like in his profile.
No, you thought he was a slam dunk because he had a history degree.
Yeah.
No, I didn't know that until we started talking.
Oh.
When we started talking, I was like, okay, like we have history in common and that is it. Then he texts me, and then the next red flag, it's green bubbles. Okay, this man has an Android.
I don't understand the problem here.
Well, kids, when we get into my sugar babying, I've got some stories.
Oh my God, I can't. I saw a green message on your phone and it triggered me. So then I'm like, okay, whatever. It's not a big deal. He has a droid. Like, good for him going against
He's
the
got
grain.
a droid.
Like, it's fine. And then we like don't talk at all. And he's like, hey, can we meet on Tuesday of this past week? He's like, on Thursday, I'm going to Alexandria in Virginia. And I go, cool, what's there? Thinking he'd be like, oh, family, like a sports game. He's like, oh, I'm doing my Civil War reenactment. This is not his first.
Is this like a meetup?
Wait,
Yeah,
he told you this in person or over text?
No, over text.
Oh
so
my
I knew.
God.
And that's why I told Tara, I was like, I don't think I should go on this date. Like, this guy's gonna be so weird. Because then it's not even that he just stopped there. He follows up with a picture of him in a full kit.
No. Wait, which side is he on?
Well, I couldn't tell from the photo.
So glad that you asked that because Allie's freaking out because he's in all red. So she's just assuming that
somebody has to be in that,
right.
in that community. They can't all be in the union.
You can't
right. So I did ask this on the date, but I'll get there because I was like, do they switch sides like in basketball?
I did ask. You have to switch jerseys.
Which side is desirable? What do they want to be on?
He said, I'm on the north, but the Confederates are cool. That's what he said to me. So
like
I still don't know.
The group that plays Confederate.
Guys, I just need, let me go in order here.
I'm so sorry.
This is the craziest fucking thing. Like, you're not going to believe anything that's happened on this date.
Oh my God.
So before that, the only other thing he knows about me is that I live in Hoboken, and the only other thing, and I don't, I live in Weehawken, but it's just easier to say. And then the only other thing that I know about him is that he lives in the East Village. So he goes, I'm going to pick this bar in the East Village at 8 p.m., which I thought was pretty rude, knowing he knows I live all the way on the west side,
yeah.
and it's 8 p.m. Like, it's not, like, right after work.
No, that's tough.
What bar, you would never be able to catch the ferry.
We went to Lullaby.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, you said it was really cute.
It was cute. Not with him. So I am killing time. Thank God for the two of you. Let me shower at your place and get ready. And I look absolutely redonkulous because I didn't care about this man. So I didn't bring like date clothes. You know, I show up in a really aggressive sweater.
Listener, I gotta be honest. I wouldn't have recommended this outfit. It was a large frumpy sweater and some light wash skinny jeans. Go on.
Oh, shit.
So I go to this bar, and he supposedly lives right by it. He's not there. It's 10 minutes late. I'm texting the two of you, waiting for this man to show up.
I was busy.
And nope, I know. I ordered myself a drink because I'm like, fuck this guy. I'm 30. Like, if he doesn't show up, whatever, I'll pay for my drink. Yeah. Then he finally shows, and I'm like sitting at the end of the bar, and I texted him that it was at the end of the bar, and he's like, we're gonna move. We're gonna go to this couch, like it's way more comfortable. And I was like, I already don't love that because like I have to forcibly be close to this man, you know?
Yeah.
That and like that's just not the way to do it.
Right.
Have a
drink first and
then be like, hey, let's
Right.
get more comfortable.
Thank you. So I don't even see him order a drink. He's like at the bar, like giving his card, which I assume was for my drink because I didn't put a card down because I was like, I'm meeting somebody. Ask him.
Nice.
And
I've never done that, listener.
Ask him.
so we're sitting in this corner, and he just sits down. He's not even looking at me. And he just starts like rolling his wrists and like cracking his thumbs like nonstop, you know? Like, and I'm like, hot. I'm going to throw up. Then he's like, so what do you think I do?
Rat boys, not a good opener. Not a good opener.
And I go, I don't know.
You're like, I don't know you.
And I'm so tired.
What's the
I'm
right
so tired.
answer?
Right.
What's the right
So
answer?
I was like, I
man, like, is that what I want to
Or
hear?
at the very least, be like, guess, like something. Not, well, so what do you think I do?
So wait, it gets worse. And this is now 30 seconds into the date. I'm like, I don't know, I'm tired. Like, I don't really want to play a question game. And he's like,
Allie, also a terrible date.
Yep, bad
tired.
well, God,
Rat ladies, bad first start.
I'm a terrible date when I don't want to be on it. I'm a great date when I'm on one with someone I like. So I'm like, I believe from your profile it said teacher. And he's like, that's right.
Stop with the impression. I can't
No, this is
handle it.
spot on, you guys. This is spot on. I've never been better. Like, this is as good as my Helen Keller.
Allie, how many glasses of wine have you had?
This is my second.
That's right. Do it one more time.
That's right. And then he's like, what do you think I teach? And I was like, I'm not doing this. I don't know. I know nothing about you. I kept saying it over and
We
again.
met on the internet.
And then he was like, come on, guess. I was like, Jesus Christ. So I'm like, history, because that's all I know about him. And he's like, no. So proud of himself. And then I'm like, all right, your profile said sculptor, so do you teach sculpting? And he's like, no. And he's like laughing, like he's so proud of himself that he really stumped me. I'm like, so do you teach like high school, like higher ed, like I don't know? And he's like, I give you a hint.
We have a list.
He goes, I teach kindergarten through 12.
Wait,
and I'm like,
What? That's
I'm
a
like,
big range.
So then my immediate raw
So-
reaction, I go, so you teach lunch? And he's like, what?
You're
I'm
like,
like,
gym?
I'm like, well, I don't know any other thing that can span across that many age ranges.
5-year-olds to 18-year-olds.
So then he
Turns
goes,
out he's a lunch lady.
I can't keep doing the impression because my throat's getting dry, but he's like, I teach art. And I'm like, Okay, so here's how I would like to receive that. Moving forward, if you do this bit again with someone, when I say sculpt, are you like getting warmer? Because like I'm pretty close.
You don't go, no.
You're just like, wrong. So I'm like, I hate art. You do know that about me. I do not appreciate it. I don't like it. I'm like, I ask no further follow-ups. I'm very disinterested.
You're like, okay.
You're like, okay.
Then he goes, well, location, catfish me. And I'm like, how's my reaction? What are you talking about? You knew I lived here. He goes, I don't date Jersey girls. And I was like, first of all, I am not a Jersey girl. I'm from Connecticut. He's like, well, I don't date people in Jersey. And I said, okay, well, you knew I lived in Jersey, so this is now like complete waste of my time. I'm now pissed.
Did you say that?
Yeah. I don't care. I don't care anymore. I don't give a fuck.
It's over.
And he's like, well, Bumble said that you were in the city. And I was like, well, I work in the city. I'm here quite often. So, like, What do you want from me? Like, you knew I was in Hoboken. Like, that's kind of on you.
But she lives in Weehawken, listener.
It's the same thing. They're right next to each other.
It's really not.
So she was lying, but not about what he's saying. Keep up.
Keep up. And so somehow in the midst of this, I'm like only still halfway through my drink. He's finished his drink. I never saw him order. And as I'm like trying to leave, the bartender is like, happens to be in front of us fanning incense around.
No.
Like he's saging the bar. And my gate's like, we're gonna get another round. And I'm like, are you drinking? And he was like, yeah. And I'm like, where is your drink? Like, I haven't seen it. When did you down it? Like, I'm so confused. And then he's like, interview me like I was interviewing for your job. And I was like, I'm not doing this. He's like, well, you're a recruiter. Come on. And I was like, I don't know. Like, no. And he was like, how much do you make?
Oh yeah, she told him.
So I told him, because I was like, fuck you, don't come at me pretending like you make more than me. So I told him, and he was like, I'm in love with you. And then he keeps touching me. My body language is so forward.
He said, I'm in love with you?
Yep. And then
because of her income.
And then he goes,
because of the income.
I got an idea. And I'm like, what now? And he goes, I think we should make out. There's been zero. Every time he's touched me, I've moved away. Like, I'm literally on the edge of my seat.
Recoiling.
Listener, they were sitting on the couch.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, Allie says she's still acting as though she's sitting at a bar.
No,
facing directly forward while he's leaning in, knees facing her, like leaning and touching all over her, and she's still pretending she's sitting at the bar.
So what'd you say to the makeout question? Yes?
I didn't get to say no because he grabs my face, sticks his tongue in my mouth. I put my hands up in fists like I'm trying to guard myself like from getting hit. And he goes, relax your hand. And then takes my hand and puts it on his thigh, and I immediately retract it and push him off of me with both hands. There's 3 beautiful blonde bombshells sitting across from me just looking in horror, and I'm like sweating, and I'm like, why isn't no one helping me? I don't want to be here.
Rat boys, I've got a tip for you for your dating life. If you find yourself saying, relax your hands,
maybe it's
when you're trying to kiss a girl,
maybe
she's got her hands in a boxing stance.
Okay, so you may be thinking, well, that's the worst date I've ever heard. Like, it can't get worse than that. But it does, because I don't leave. I don't know why.
I don't leave.
And he's like, you want to see the dolls I make? To which now I'm curious and terrified.
You can't say no.
It's like 5 for 5 of insane things he said. Like every single
I can't make this up.
It's like someone paid him to be a bad date.
So true. I call my mom after sobbing on the phone for 30 minutes reliving this. I'm sweating so much thinking about it. And so then he's like, I make dolls that are historical reenactments, but they're not. These dolls were fucking each other, you guys. He had sculpted these dolls from clay, and one was in a bed, another one was on top of him, and he had one watching.
Was it a cuck scene?
Guys, I didn't ask, but he was like, it's this famous historical scene from the Boer, and like he made up some sort of fucking thing. I'm like, so you're just making sex models. I'm like, okay, it can't get worse. And he's like, well, I also make doll houses for them.
Obviously,
he starts showing me the dolls.
Dollhouses is less weird than the dolls.
So I go, do you sell them? And he's like, yeah, would you like one? Because now he knows my income.
It's turned to a business meeting at this point.
Absolutely not. I would not like any of your dolls. What I would like to do is go home. So I'm going to go. And he's like, well, do you want me to order you a car? And I was like, I don't want you to know where I live.
Oh, Jesus, Allie.
Was what I said to him. And I said, but no, I'm good. And he goes, I knew you were going to say that, so that's why I offered.
What? So rude.
It's still not done. For some reason, he thinks it's a good idea to walk me out to my Uber. And he's like, are you sure I can't convince you to come to my studio? It's right next door. And I honestly booked this place so I could have sex with you after.
What?
And I said, I'm going to go. And he goes, well, I had a great time tonight. And he goes, if you had a great time and want to see me again, you'll text me when you get home safe. And if you don't, then we'll just disappear into the ether of the world. And I said, okay, great. And I got in the car and I went to bed and I never texted him. And then he texted me 2 days ago when I was on my date with cum in my eye. Mm-hmm. And,
yes.
Yeah, so I didn't respond. I am going to report him because I think he shouldn't be teaching children.
A 10 of 10 psychotic shit. Like, he couldn't have been weirder. He didn't say one normal thing.
Nope. Okay, so Amityville Horror is the name of the game. What do you think it's about?
Okay, I got one clue today. Fucking hiccups.
What do real podcasters do when they get the hiccups?
They wait.
They don't just drink wine and power through.
Studios cost too much. We can't be doing that. Okay, listen. I got one clue by accident. I was talking a piece of shit about this movie night.
That's her boyfriend, new listeners. That's her boyfriend.
Yeah. So, and he goes, oh, I grew up right around
Oh, yeah,
there.
he's from Long Island. So
He's
you know
from
it's on Long Island.
So I know it's on Long Island. For some reason, I got the sense that it's like a firehouse, like a fire station. So
Is that not right?
don't worry,
Allie's laughing.
it's a prediction.
I don't think it's right.
So I think that like some crazy guy, God bless our firefighters.
I don't know what's happening. She's spitting out wine. For the listener, Allie just got up, ran to the sink, and spit wine into the sink.
And here's why, because I'm probably right. I think this one firefighter. Stop laughing at my hiccups, guys. We're never gonna get through this.
You want more to go first?
No, I'm almost done.
Okay, so it takes place in a firehouse.
I mean, yeah, it's that teenager drama shit where the guy with a hatchet, he's a firefighter. He's a firefighter. Firefighters have hatchets, and he chases them around the fire station.
And they're like going down the pole.
Yeah, definitely a pole scene.
You think that's all?
Yeah, it's
all
like
that
a Freddy
happens.
versus Jason.
Okay, so
sitch.
you think it's just like
a slasher movie?
A slasher movie. Okay.
Yeah.
I think it's a haunted house, and there's like maybe a family who moves in, and then they begin seeing.
True story, Nora.
Okay, it's true so far. That could all happen.
Haunted house. I can't with these fucking. Help me.
Why do you keep trying to talk? So they move in, and then they see like maybe writing on the wall that's like, "Get out." What? So this episode was gonna be our guesses of what it is.
No.
Are we done?
Did you not
No.
listen to the intro? Yeah, we're done.
Nora, we pitched this to you twice.
We wanted to do predictions before, and then the second half is going to be after you've seen the movie.
So stay tuned, rats. We'll be right back.
Any other predictions? You think people die? You think there's going to be vampires?
Obviously,
you think there's
people
going
are
to be
going to
zombies?
die.
Do you think they are part of the FBI?
There's
Do you think
it's a
they're
cult. It's a cult.
I think it's a cult.
Okay, maybe like everyone in the house just mysteriously dies.
No,
at the
I
end.
think that's like torture.
I hope there's no jump scares. I really don't like those.
It's 100% going to be jump scares. It's a movie made for jump scares.
Can we watch it with the lights on?
No.
Are we sleeping over?
Yeah, that's why you're here. Listener, also we're watching this not even just on a normal TV where we can access lights. We're going to my building's theater room, which can fit 15 people, but it's just going to be the three of us.
Can girlfriend come?
We're going to sneak her in.
Okay, girlfriend's the dog.
We'll circle back soon, listeners.
All right, BRB.
Bye.
We're gonna come back scared.
You guys are really going to be so scared.
And we're back, rats, from watching our spooky movie.
Spooky.
Nora, what'd you think?
It was very scary. I did not like it.
Who was most scared?
Nora let out the most screams, but Tara didn't watch the movie because she had her hands over her eyes.
No, Tara had her hands over her eyes the whole movie.
I have to say, you two...
Pro tip. You can still watch the movie, but if you, listener, put your hands up to your face, you're looking at your palms, take your thumbs, plug your ears, and then keep your your fingers.
Listening to the movie.
Right, that's like half the scares is the dramatic music.
I didn't plug it all the way. I could hear. I just was like, I lessened the volume. Also, Allie and you both have kind of bad hearing.
Yeah.
One diagnosed with bad hearing and
have you gotten diagnosed?
I don't need to.
She was prescribed hearing aids in like high school.
Oh my.
And I was just like, no. That movie was loud. My ears are ringing.
Was so loud.
I couldn't figure out the volume. It's not that I wanted it to be loud.
So I watched the whole thing with some like shielders.
She was covering her eyes and holding her ears closed so she couldn't see or hear the movie.
I watched the whole
thing.
thing.
And she only jumped when anybody else jumped.
So the reason why I was okay with sleeping alone last night when you two abandoned me.
Listeners, we watched the movie last night, then we all were too sleepy to finish this recording. Yeah, so why'd you sleep alone?
Because I wasn't scared, because while I was watching the movie, the whole movie, with my eyes wide open, I was like, oh, this obviously can't be a true story.
It is.
It's not.
It is a true story.
It's not.
It's a true story with some severe fabrications.
Severe.
Allie kept saying the whole time, this is all real. Every time.
I just wanted to scare you motherfuckers. You guys were such little bitches last night.
We were already scared.
Every time like a ghost or demon would pop up, Allie would be like, yeah, this is all a true story. She'd be like, that really happened.
That really
like,
happened?
no, he really massacred all those people in his basement.
But he did, right? That part's real.
So based off of research, like, yes, the house was built on like some sort of reservation land.
That wasn't in the movie at all.
This man, Ketchum, is supposed to be some sort of like cult or like Salem witch leader.
A satanic worshiper.
Yeah.
That's what my research said.
So that's why they think the original hauntings happened.
So did he kill people in the house?
They don't know.
What? So none of it's real?
No, the original murders were. So the original murders in 1974 or whenever the DeFeos were in there, like that murder is real. And that guy basically pretended like he didn't do it. And then eventually was like, no, I did it. But the little girl in the movie is fake. Also, we watched the 2005 Ryan Reynolds version, listener, before you come at us.
The only thing that was real was the abs on that man's torso.
God.
Holy
Ryan
fuck.
Reynolds looked really good in that movie.
No,
I don't know how old that is.
His abs looked good.
No,
Nothing else
so
did
hot.
much for me.
Overall, I have some thoughts on the movie. I think it's really triggering if you come from an abusive home.
Oh, that's a good call out. Trigger warning.
Trigger warning. I feel like even the parts where he wasn't murdering people, he was like, oh, I'm in charge now. Oh, I'm doing the disciplining. It was very tough parenting.
It was very triggering.
I guess they were trying to show like, so in all the scenes at the house, he's getting more and more like angry and darker. Reynolds. Yeah, Ryan Reynolds is getting darker and angrier.
His abs are getting bigger.
His
abs are just
pulsating on my face.
He has the perfect abs in that movie. Like that's my ab type.
Yeah, so like 0% body fat, listener.
No, but they're big. Like he has big abs.
Gushy. Not they're like gushy abs.
Some guys have like tight little abs.
Yeah, these were like big.
I don't mind the tight little abs.
I don't like
those
like
a tomahawk steak, but of abs.
Any ab I will accept, but that's my perfect ab.
Okay, so anyways, it took a turn where all of a sudden he's like this angry stepfather, and he's the chopping wood part is just out of control.
The chopping wood scene is so funny.
He makes the kid just walk the chopped wood back and forth to the wood pile while they're all having a family dinner inside. And the kid's punishment, in quotes, is just walking fucking
What are you talking about?
wood.
No, then he makes him hold the wood.
Right, I'm getting there. But that first part of his parenting style was pretty stupid, right?
Our dad used to make us pick up rocks like we're prisoners.
Yeah. That was our punishment.
Put them in a wheelbarrow. We had a wheelbarrow.
It would be parked in the center of the field, and we would just walk rocks back and forth.
Why did he want the rocks gone?
You know, we were told, I think by our mother, it's so bad. I'm just realizing how bad it is. She said it was so that we could put a pool in.
Oh, that's sad.
We used to have rock wars in my neighborhood. We would stone each other. We would just throw rocks.
Stone each other with rocks.
We would
Did you have neighborhood kid friends?
Yeah. They were putting up a bunch of new houses, and they would just have like these massive pits where they would put the house. But before it was built, we would go there and we would take all the rocks and we'd like line up on sides like Red Rover. And we would just throw rocks at each other, and the last to survive won.
What do you mean survive?
Like, if you got hit and you were like, stop, I'm bleeding, you were out.
That makes a lot of sense now that I've seen Allie play dodgeball. That actually really adds up, because she does not go out until she is damn ready to go out, even if she's been hit 40 times. She's such a fucking cheat at dodgeball.
She's a cheat at all games. Anyways, yeah, the next part of the chopping wood spot, stepdad makes him hold the... I'm trying to keep you girls together. Can we do our podcast, ladies? Anyways, yeah, at one point Ryan Reynolds makes the kid hold the wood while he's chopping, and I really didn't know what to take on that. Nora, what were your thoughts on the wood chopping of wood?
I just thought that little boy was kind of a bitch boy, and I was like, listen to daddy.
Like, fat kid crying, holding wood, could easily run away, doesn't, that's on him.
Yeah, take your dog and run away before you both get chopped.
Oh man, the dog dies, listener.
Oh, so that's also a fabrication according to research.
So the
Okay,
the
yeah,
dog.
let me read the
give
research.
us the truth. What's the truth?
The truth is,
all
the
of
Lutz
it's
family
lies.
did move in. They did move out after 28 days, but there have been, I think, like 4 other families that have moved in there since, and none of them have experienced anything paranormal.
Correct.
So they just haunted the first family. I mean, honestly, to move out 28 days later is wild.
Well, one part of my research, and Tara, let me know if you found something different, like Billy in real life, not little bitch boy Billy, but like real life Billy, who also might be a little bitch boy, I don't know. He said that George Lutz, who is Ryan Reynolds' character in the movie, in real life was somehow practicing Satanism as well. And so they were like, maybe that's why his family, as opposed to the others, were targeted by whatever was living in the house.
The ghosts.
The ghosts.
The
The
ghosts.
ghoulies.
So did Ryan Reynolds and the woman like stay together? Does anyone know?
Yes.
They did?
Yeah, George is dead now, though.
I don't know how you get past that.
Okay, so real quick, fun fact. So the 70s murder, the story that made the house famous, the son, he was 23. So, bitch, why are you still living with your parents? Find a real job, and then you probably wouldn't have killed everybody. So he murders parents and then I think 4 or 3 siblings. I think the youngest was like 9, and Jody was a made-up character.
Yeah, she wasn't
She's not
real.
No,
it
Jody.
was like all boys in the house or something. I don't fucking know.
Testosterone, toxic male.
Honestly, house full of boys.
It's
Male
bound to
toxicity.
happen.
That's just math.
Originally, the murderer runs to like the local bar, restaurant, and is like, help,
Murderer.
help.
Yeah, Ronnie DeFeo, the guy that murdered his family.
Yeah, the 23-year-old that murdered his family runs to get help and says, help, help, help. My family's been murdered. And he blames it on a hitman.
What?
Like a mobster hitman.
How would he? What do you go on?
Yeah, I know. So his story obviously doesn't add up. Then I can't remember how his story goes, but they're like, you did it. And he's
He
like,
confessed eventually.
but he goes on trial and claims insanity.
Right.
Well, probably was insane.
But he does, there's no like hearing voices, none of that. That's all fabricated.
Oh.
But he does claim insanity. He gets life in prison, basically. He died in 2021 in prison.
Oh, wow.
He just died.
Any like interviews or anything that we can point
There's
to?
26 spin-offs on Amityville
You're
Horror.
kidding.
Yeah, they really sensationalized this
milked
murder.
this.
Yeah, milked it
Poor
to
family.
the bone.
But
Well, the
you know,
family's
there's
dead.
a lot of people who kill their whole families. So.
And they don't get a single cent from the movie, the movie
dead
industry.
Dead family.
Yeah.
I want to know why this one was so sensationalized versus all these others. Like, of course, they've made other movies based off of quote unquote true stories, but like, why was this one so? It's because Amityville is just a creepy name for a town.
True.
Is that
Well,
it?
Wait, can we
In the house
pause
looks
quickly? So the house, they changed the address.
Oh,
Wait,
I'm
but
so
it's
glad
so
you brought it up.
ridiculous. It's so fucking stupid. So it was originally 112 Oceanside Avenue. Yeah, Ocean
that's
Avenue,
the real
whatever.
house?
Real
Yeah.
house number.
Guess what they changed,
They changed
the
it because
address
to
to?
deter tourists.
What?
108 Ocean
Just a
Avenue.
couple streets or houses down.
And then they just blur it on Google Maps. So, like, if you go on Google Maps, it's just, like, the whole street and then a blurred out house.
Okay,
like, to protect the privacy.
I wonder if a lot of tourists go and look at it.
Yeah. So
We should go.
We can go. It's just in Long Island.
It'll just look like a house.
It does just look like a house. One story I read, which was debunked, after 28 days, they abandoned the house, left all of their possessions, were like, I'm out.
That's what the movie said.
Is that what the movie said?
Yeah.
Little bitches.
Oh, were you not watching, perhaps?
I can't read.
Okay, go on.
Anyways.
Because you're a woman?
Because my eyes were closed.
She was also a bad reader listener. We had hooked on phonics.
I learned
She's also trying to role play for her Halloween costume, which is Helen Keller.
So what really happened was they left and paid movers to move their shit.
But that's still abandoned it. Like, they were like, fuck it, I'm not going back in. They hired movers to back it up.
The most recent sell of the house was like in 2017. It was an elderly couple. The man died of natural causes.
Yeah,
old
that's
age.
what they want you to believe.
In the house?
No.
$850K they paid for that piece of shit.
They paid
Really?
$850K.
Jesus.
She couldn't sell it for asking price. She wanted to downsize after her husband died, and she sold it for like $600K. Huge loss, listener.
Guys, I would buy it. I would buy that house. It sounds like it's not haunted anymore.
I read this article this morning on the priest. So that's one of the things in the book that is like really, really creepy. They do this like whole thing with the reverend. He gets slapped in the face by like this demonic presence, leaves the house, all this shit. But
he
then
gets bitch slapped.
So there's like a bunch of different things. The Wikipedia page is like, no, it's all fake. Like, that never happened. But then like when you go through all the other things, he did do an interview. So he's like out there on video getting taped saying like he did in fact like visit the house once. He got slapped in the face and then told them to get out and not stay in the parents' room, like on the second floor where they're residing.
Because he got slapped in the face.
I don't know why they didn't say why he said
It's about time a priest gets slapped in the face. I'll say it.
Yeah.
Stop touching kids. Should we wrap?
Anyway, Amityville Horror sucks. Not real. As always, thanks for listening. If you're interested in even more bad advice, scurry on over to Instagram and TikTok at Bad Advice Only NYC. We're begging you. Download and rate the show and leave us a review. Talk to you next Monday. Stay tuned, rats.